Alright, so Movsar Evloev is one of the most hated fighters in the UFC. Despite being on a crazy win streak against pretty good competition, people absolutely hate this guy for what is like seemingly no reason. I mean, at this point, the hate just seems forced. But let me know what you think about him, whether you like him or whether you hate him. And while you're down there, I'd appreciate if you could like, subscribe. Hopefully you can hit 500 subs at the end of the year. Anyway, let me get into it. Recently, people are starting to come around to Movsar though because of his fight with Aljamain Sterling at UFC 310. It was pretty entertaining. On top of that, it was just a very like high level grappling match. But I saw a lot of people calling that fight a robbery, which is actually insane to me because it came down to the third round because the first two rounds were basically 1-on-1, and in the third, Aljo had like 3 minutes of control time, but he did absolutely like 0 damage outside of that. Okay, this guy basically just held onto Movsar's back and, you know, wasn't really able to do anything, you know, threaten any submissions, land anything. He basically just did nothing for 3 minutes, you know. And then you have Movsar, who I think he had like 1 minute 30 of control time and was able to hold down Aljo and, you know, beat him up as much as Movsar could. Obviously, he didn't do too much damage because it is Movsar after all, but like he still hit him way more than Aljo did and did way more damage, which, you know, is more effective on the scoring criteria. So I thought Movsar clearly won that round. Okay, I mean, he did way more damage and Aljo literally, he didn't threaten any submissions. This guy was literally below maxing. He didn't threaten any submissions, did 0 ground and pound. So, like, I don't see how he could actually have won that round. But look, bro, a lot of people were saying Aljo won, which is just insane, okay? Because Aljo is not even a fan favorite, okay? Most people absolutely hate this guy. And on top of that, if the roles were reversed and Movsar was the guy with 3 minutes of control time with 0 damage and Aljo was the guy who beat him up on the ground, no one would be saying that was a robbery, okay? Literally nobody. But for some reason, people swear that Movsar got the robbery win and has not had a clear win in, like, so many fights, okay? Like, I just don't get it. And, like, people still swear that the Allen fight was a robbery too, which makes no sense. Allen literally got dropped. And in this fight, by the way, Aljo literally got put in a crucifix twice, bro. Imagine being like the bantamweight GOAT, bro, one of the best grapplers in the UFC, and you get put in a crucifix twice in one fight by Movsar, bro. But anyway, I saw a lot of people saying this fight was entertaining as well, and that kind of shocked me as well, because people swear that Movsar is boring, even though he's like not. It like genuinely makes no sense to me why people call Movsar boring. Like, yeah, he can be boring at times, or he was boring before. But bro, this guy has like had 3 straight bangers in a row. Like, one of his fights, his fight against Diego Lopez, literally won like a fight of the night, bro. I don't understand. How can you make the case like he's boring when he's had that banger with Allen, the banger with Lopez, and now this banger with Aljo? It's like, you can't call him boring. It makes absolutely no sense. Okay, people say he doesn't have power either, even though he dropped Allen, which I think is very impressive as well. Like, bro, he's beating really good competition. It's like, bro, yeah, he was going to decisions before, and that doesn't really make any sense. Okay, I'm not going to defend that. I don't know how this guy's going to decisions against like absolute cans. You know, I can't really defend that for Movsar. But look, bro, now he's going to decisions with like actually really good fighters. Like, Aljamain Sterling is the bantamweight GOAT. Arnold Allen is really good. This guy had a close fight with Max Holloway, by the way. There's no one really remember that, which is insane because Movsar, I'm pretty sure the fight with Allen was mostly on the feet. I don't remember that being like a crazy like grappling match. So for him to have a close fight with Arnold Allen is like kind of crazy because like he managed to drop Allen as well. So I mean, he's clearly beat the robbery allegations, and on top of that, the boring allegations. He's beat them very, very easily. But he's actually just a really cool guy as well. In his post-fight interview after UFC 310, which was really funny because he had like a half-eaten peanut butter sandwich in his hand and they just wouldn't let him finish it in the interview. Alright, but before I even get into the press conference, I just want to say he already won me over when I found out that he doesn't eat sugar, which is actually based, okay, he's not like that silly little fool Johnny, okay, he was eating sugar without his father knowing. But look, Movsar is actually like, that's just so goated that he thinks like he doesn't eat sugar, because like, I swear if you don't eat sugar, you would actually die. Like, you eat sugar in basically everything, okay, like I'm pretty sure fruits has like natural sugars. I don't know why this guy thinks that he doesn't eat sugar, but that's just, I don't know, bro. He's just like, oh, okay, he's not going to eat sugar until he becomes champion, which is going to be very soon, okay? He absolutely mugs Ilia Topuria. He's just that good. Also, he was eating a peanut butter sandwich, which literally has sugar, okay? So, you know, that doesn't really make any sense. But anyway, in the interview, bro, this guy just comes off like actually as goated because he said he's gonna fight until he's 100-0 and he's not gonna beg Dana White for a title shot, which I think is really cool because that mentality is really lost on fighters nowadays. A lot of fighters, they just want to fight like 2 people in the rankings to just get a title shot. But Movsar, he said he's gonna fight basically anyone, and he kind of has. I mean, he fought Diego Lopez and Arnold Allen and Aljamain Sterling, who was lower than him in the rankings. A lot of fighters don't do that nowadays, which makes no sense to me, but I'm glad he still has that mentality because it's like, not a lot of fighters do that anymore. Like, a lot of fighters are kind of like selfish, and I get that, okay, because why wouldn't you want to do that? But at the same time, it's like, you have to give opportunities to people below you, and he was willing to do it for Diego Lopez at UFC 307, same with Gene Silva. Like, he's willing to fight lower down in the rankings and just wants to fight, okay, which is very respectable. He says he's going to be more active, which is, you know, hopefully he does, because this guy guy literally never fights, bro. This guy fights like 1 time a year. This guy fights like prime C-Day. And he said he's not going to beg Dana White for a title shot, which I think is a very good thing because I think he's the most deserving contender at featherweight right now. You know, some people might say Diego Lopez. If you say Volkanovski, you're just out your mind. I don't care how dominant of a champion he was. I don't want to see this guy get KO'd stiff by Ilia again. And with Ilia leaving the division, Movsar could very well be the next champion, and that's the mentality you want a champion to have, okay? A guy who's going to fight all the contenders. Not like Ilia, by the way, because Ilia doesn't even want to fight any of the contenders. This guy is quite literally leaving the division, but I think that's more because of his weight. Even then, before the weight, he still didn't want to fight anyone, so, you know. Maybe we can get Diego versus Movsar for, like, the vacant belt or something, or maybe for, like, the #1 contenders in, like, a fight night in, like, Saudi. I think that would be pretty cool, but still, I think Movsar is the most deserving contender. Anyway, in conclusion, I think that the Movsar Evloev hate is actually forced because so many of these situations, it like genuinely makes no sense to me how anyone can say these things about him. You know, about the robberies with Aljo and then on top of that Arnold Allen, it really makes no sense how you can argue that either of those guys won. With Arnold, he has a bit more of a case, but with the Aljo one, it makes no sense to me. On top of that, calling this guy boring when he's had 3 straight like fight of the nights, again, kind of insane to me. But still, Movsar, I think he's actually a pretty good guy. I actually like him, to be honest. I wouldn't say I'm a crazy fan because he's still kind of boring. I'm not going to lie to you and be like, nah, bro, Movsar's not boring at all. But saying he's like completely boring is kind of crazy, okay? But anyway, that's going to be it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe. All right.